Folks, today we have an overview video here of this Mekoh hose reel. They came out with a more compact hose reel recently, and I had a good experience last summer with a much bigger hose reel of theirs, and worked out great. I had it in the back of the Can-Am and went all around the property with it, and it did a phenomenal job of keeping the hose. And they offered me up to try out one of these. So thank you to Mekoh for sending this to me. And with this one, it's a little bit smaller, but still looks just as durable. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. Okay, so with our hose reel here, this will hold about 300 feet of 1/4 inch pressure washer line and about 150 feet of 3/8 inch line. And so with this, a little bit of assembly we need to do, not too complicated. We just have to install the handle over here, which will be our crank reel, and then we have a NPT fitting that we're going to fit right here, and then also to the adapter where the hose is going to attach right here. We'll need to attach that. They do provide Teflon tape with the hose reel. A lot of times what I use and what I keep handy, they don't include this, but this is what I typically use, is the Blue Monster PTFE tape, and so that's what it's called, is PTFE tape if you're not used to using this. But anytime you do any sort of plumbing fittings or different things like that, a lot of times this Teflon tape will come in handy. If you ever have any pressure washing leaks or different things like that with your pressure washer, sometimes a good way to cure that with different hoses and fittings and stuff is actually to use some of this Teflon PTFE tape. And so we are going to apply some of that on these different parts here, where we're going to have water flowing through them. And so when we apply this tape, one thing that we do need to do is not just do one wrap with this, but we want to go about 3 or 4 times all the way around, and just make sure it's nice and covered, 3 or 4 revolutions around it, and that should keep things from leaking. If for some reason any time in the future you would have a leak or something like that, just take off your old PTFE tape and reapply. And that goes for any pressure washing type stuff. Like I said, if you run into any leaks with anything out there, this tape can come in handy. So we'll go ahead and get that fitted, and then we also too have our hose that we'll go ahead and fit that as well. The thing that we have here with this is the mounting. So there's a lot of options you can do with this, and with the hose reel in the bag here, they include the bolts and everything to fit this and bolt this to something. So you have a huge amount of options, really, you could go with this. You could hang this upside down with this on top right here. You could also do it the other way and put it on top of something. You could make your own stand for it out of wood to roll it around if you wanted. You could bolt this to the back of a trailer. You could bolt this to the back of a truck. You've got a bunch of different options there in terms of mounting or where you want to mount it. You could mount it in your garage if you wanted. Really, the sky is the limit with it in terms of what you would mount it to. For me right now, I'm not sure exactly where I'll put it or how, but again, you've got tons and tons of options in terms of how you would actually employ this and put it into use. Probably for me, if I run it off the back of my Can-Am, I'd probably just end up just building some sort of weighted mount or something to bolt it to, something made out of wood with maybe some weight on it to hold it down, and that would probably work just fine for what I'm doing. So we got everything hooked up here. Now with this fitting right here, this is exactly the same as the other Mekoh hose reel I used last summer, and so this does rotate around as you need, so that is good. You are going to have to decide on your own here what you want to plug in to that. There's a couple different ways you could probably do it. It's up to you in terms of how you want to run it to your pressure washer, how long of a hose you want to use, all that sort of stuff. So when I have it on the back of the vehicle, I have the pressure washer right next to the hose reel. So what I did was I got a NPT, it's called an NPT jumper hose, and it's about a couple of feet long here, and that's about how big it is. Just a couple of feet just to get to the pressure washer. So with this, I have a female NPT fitting. I don't have one on hand right now, so I'd have to get one, but that does not come with the hose reel. So I plugged in a female NPT fitting, and then this end right here plugged into that, and then this right here plugs into the pressure washer. So that is totally up to you in terms of how you want to do that. This right here, this is the brake to kind of rotate how, in terms of the amount of speed that the hose reel will move. So if it moves too fast for you or whatever, you can use this knob to go ahead and tighten it up. In here, let's go ahead and actually loosen that up so we can turn it. In here, also notice too, I put the Teflon tape in there. And so we screwed in the fitting that came with the hose reel and attached our hose to it. And then also we moved the piece right here from over here to here. So got that all sorted, and then also too screwed the handle on. Didn't need to use any Teflon tape with that or anything. Just screwed it on and just kind of got it nice and tight. So now what we can do is go ahead and roll this onto the hose reel here. Folks, got a brand new pressure washer hose installed on this. Pretty easy. I did make an adjustment on where to put the little attachment here. I went ahead and moved it forward a little bit. So there are different holes where you can kind of put it where you want, all depending on your hose and maybe how flexible it is or whatever it might be. But this is one of my favorite pressure washer hoses from Flexzilla, and also Uberflex. They use similar technology, very good hoses. So I got it installed here, and so a lot of times what I found in the summertime when I was using the other hose reel was you don't even need to use the handle. If you set the brake to a point where it gives you just enough give, you can pretty much just kind of pull on it, and I don't have anything hold it down. so that doesn't help right now, but you pretty much just pull on it like that and pull out all the hose that you need pretty much, and you are good to go. So yeah, pretty easy to use. And then if you do need to tighten up the brake, there's that little knob on the other side where you can pretty much bring it all the way to a complete halt. And so there, and then whenever you want to wind it back up, same deal. You can loosen up the brake if you need to, and then you can use the handle and roll it back up. So anyways, folks, pretty easy to use, and looks like it works real well. Like I said, I had great luck with the other hose reel. Unfortunately, right now, can't take this outside and put it to work because it's -10 outside. But definitely as we get into the spring, we'll be getting this out there, and I'll be deciding what I want to attach this to and all that stuff. So folks, definitely if you need something like this, definitely check this out. These are pretty good hose reels, and they do a great job. And so far I've had good experience with Mekoh's products and stuff. So check them out, give them a go, and we'll see you all next time.